Welcome back to Afternoon Live. As we celebrate Juneteenth this year, we are living in a country that still feels divided in so many ways. Here with ideas to help bring back some unity in our communities, we welcome back motivational speaker John Register. Great to see you.
You too. Great to see you, Hannah.
So let's talk about Juneteenth and just what it means in the first place. Can you give us a bit of a refresher of why the day is so important?
Sure. Well, in 1865, General Granger, he comes in from the Union Army 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation into Texas, and says that he reads the proclamation, General Order Number 3, that from the 13th Amendment, all African Americans or Black Americans in slavery are henceforth and forevermore shall be free. So that's this celebration. So think about that just for a moment, right? Think about for over 200 years, 250 plus years, where you count the math from the 1600s until that time, there has been wealth building in this country off the backs of African American, Black Americans that have come, and not all from Africa, some were from, you know, the islands as well. And so all that's going on, and here you get this order that comes in and says, no more do you have to do that, and you have to be in slavery. And so there's a big celebration that happens all across Texas and across these United States of ours as well. But so this day is to commemorate, as we have on July 4th, where only a partial of our country was free. Now we have everyone is free. So really Juneteenth is the Freedom Day that we have for everyone. Exactly right.
That's, gosh, when you explain it that way, yeah, it's very important that we celebrate it. And sometimes it can feel like we're moving backwards when bad things happen and it feels like some progress has been lost. How do you keep the perspective that obviously so much has changed in a positive direction, but we still have work to do?
I think, Hannah, we come to a reckoning moment, first of all, right? Because there are some disparities that we have, and a lot that we still have that are systemic. And so it goes back to, okay, so now we're henceforth and forevermore free, but then what's economics? What does a dollar mean? What does it mean to actually work and earn a paycheck? What does it mean to keep your family together, that your family's not sold off, right? So we begin, you know, with the 16th Amendment and voting rights and 16th Amendments and having votings, but we're not allowed to participate in the quote-unquote the American dream, because people start holding us back from that, and those things perpetuate themselves on down through society. So we see that happening even today, where, let's take voter registration, voter rights, right? So we were given the vote right. So when we talk about 1963 and what we see the March on Washington, it wasn't to get blacks the right to vote. It was to ensure that the rights that were given back in the amendments were actually exercised. So what does that mean when it comes to economics, right? It comes to how do I build wealth? Think about it as a monopoly game. If for 200 plays around the board, we're playing the game, and I don't give you money to get on the board, or you can't buy property, how much wealth can you build 200 times around? It's a huge gap. So that's what we're talking about, which I think some of the huge disparities that we still see. And so how do we shorten them with either laws or, you know, reparations or those type of things?
And even just in our daily lives, are there ways you think we can come together more and unify and uplift the right things and move things in a better direction?
Yes, because there's a revision that can happen. And the revision is, can I walk a mile in your shoes? Can I really understand who you are? And when we break bread around the world, myself as a motivational speaker going around the world, even coming up to some things later on this year into Tunisia, I get a chance to see those opportunities come together, because I need to know how you operate and understand your culture and appreciate your culture. I don't have to impose it upon myself, but I do want to appreciate where you've come from and what you have done. Can we, for example, I see a lot of my friends that might be from Europe, they can trace their lineage back, and they're proud to trace their lineage back to Ireland or to England. Well, mine stops because records weren't kept. So can we appreciate just that? I can't even know where I was.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. If it's a big deal for others, why isn't it not a big deal for myself.
When I think it all comes back to, we talk about these things, and just the listening is always the
Right.
first step. And sometimes you're not paying attention and realizing how different everyone's story is.
And I think also it's the nomenclature that we might be able to have as well. So in the renewal, how do we renew our minds around how do we have a rebirth on this? And that is maybe the renewal is, instead of calling one thing, say, what's the word? What's a good word? Welfare. You say welfare. We call it something else. We call it appropriations, or we call it another word that's less kind of toxic.
The stigma,
that we're stigmatized for it. And so we begin building and saying that I'm going to treat you with dignity and respect. I'm going to, what I say in my company is I want to breathe life into you. So if we're all focused on breathing life one to another, then we're not so much, at odds with each other.
Hey, it's always great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Hannah.
Great conversation. We will have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.